Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Nightly Relay. Today is June 21st, 2018, and I am your host for the evening debacle. Neutrino Jones. How you doing, everybody? Well, trying to keep it all together. I'm trying to keep my head together these days. Just so many things going on. So many things that just make your head spin out in the world today. Well, here we are, June 21st, 2018. We're now a full week into this debacle, as I referenced a bit earlier. I don't know. It gets harder and harder to even talk about it, to just even try to comprehend what's going on. So where are we? Well, I'll tell you where we are. Melania Trump. Did she do that today or yesterday? There's so many things. This whole week. I think it all started for me Monday night watching Kellyanne Conway on TV. Arguing in her shrill New Jersey accent at the top of her lungs, like not even taking a breath. With Jake, who is it? No, I get all these CNN hosts mixed up. I don't know any of their names. If they don't have white hair, you know, like I know those guys. I know Wolf Blitzer, and because he's been around forever. In the Situation Room. In the Situation Room. What is the Situation Room? What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? I think that's a holdover from the war days, right? Because that's what, the Situation Room is when you're at war, right? I think. So that must be, his show must be a holdover from the Iraq War. They probably created that then. Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room. So I know Wolf Blitzer and I know Anderson Cooper, but the other ones I have no idea. Anyway, so Kellyanne Conway Monday night was arguing with Cuomo. I think that's what his name is, Chris Cuomo. About Trump's zero tolerance policy and sticking babies in jail. Sticking babies in jail. Can you imagine? The President of the United States was defending. He did it Monday. He did it Tuesday. He had all his people out there. Kellyanne Conway. What's his name? Corey Lewandowski was scoffing and laughing at a report of a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome. He laughed at that. At this poor little girl being taken away from her parents and held in a facility without her parents. And they mocked that. Anyway, I think it was yesterday. So after he defends 2 days of staunchly defending this policy of, hey, don't like kids in jail? Too bad. We're going to do it. He turns around and he signs an executive order, which does nothing, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That executive order was it's the same thing he did last year after the Charlotte situation, where he first defended the white supremacists. Remember that? And then someone pushed him out there the next day, and he had to read a statement saying he didn't support white supremacists. And then the day after that, he came back and said he did support white supremacists. That's your president. So he defends his policy 2 days in a row, doubles down, marches in, has a meeting with Congress, and nothing gets accomplished there, and marches out, and next day he signs an executive order that was just a nothing piece of paper that meant nothing. And I think on the same day, was it yesterday, Melania Trump goes and visits the kids down in Texas. It looked more like a classroom. She wasn't in she didn't go to the one where they had them in dog kennels. She couldn't make that trip. But on the way down, she's photographed wearing a jacket that says, "I don't care." She does. And then she wears it again on her way back home. The jacket says, let me see if I can find this thing. Bear with me. This is our first lady. The one who's got, lesbian action spreads out there on the internet from her modeling days. She's all about, her whole campaign was be better or something like that. Children first. I don't know. And she, I can't. Oh, man. What is going on? I have no idea. Her jacket said, "I really don't care, do you?" Why would you wear that jacket if you didn't think people were going to read anything into it? Did you not know it was written on the back of your jacket? She had to know, right? She didn't put that on without knowing what was on. It was like a real cheap jacket, apparently. Like, something you can buy at Walmart. I don't know. Obviously, someone found that for probably Kellyanne. Yeah, I'll bet Kellyanne was behind that. I guarantee Kellyanne was behind that. I think I'm right about that. So anyway, the jacket says, "I really don't care, do you?" And she wears it on the way down. She's photographed with that jacket on. Does her little photo op in the really comfortable little daycare center that she attended that had nothing to do with the 2,300 kids that are being kept in cages. Gets back on the plane, and puts the same jacket back on. That was just like a big FU, right? That was like a finger. They were giving us the finger on that one. She was giving us the finger. She was forced into doing that photo op. People were begging and pleading her to do that, with her to do that. And so she felt probably forced, like the whole, someone was forcing this crew to do an about face, and, they got spanked. And that was just like, as they're, taking the medicine, they're flipping us the bird. That's what that was. I am going to need some serious medication and some serious alcohol by the time this week is over, let alone, I don't know. If we have to go 4 full years with this, I'm not going to make it, folks. I'm really not going to make it. I was on the verge this morning. I was on the verge this morning of writing a piece about how could actually be good for us, like that it's cathartic, to have a president like this who forces us, he forces these things, these issues into the spotlight, so that we can all see it and we can all, we're forced to confront it and we're forced to do battle over it, the battle of good and evil, whatever, or just pay attention to these very complicated issues, and we're being forced to recognize that they're there, and we've got to do something about it. And that includes everything, not just immigration. It includes racism and everything that's going on in this country. The plight of poor people in Central America, it forces us to confront that and learn about that. Why are they coming here in droves? Why are people migrating from certain parts of the world into Europe and into the United States? It's because they have nothing. They can't sustain themselves on what's available to them there. That has a lot to do with all kinds of things. The wars that we supported in those or executed in those parts of the world. And we just destroyed these people's lives over periods of 10 and 20 years of 30 years in Central America. This dates back to the 1980s. So now we're all being forced to face these things. Climate change, that's another one. If you haven't been doing some of the additional reading that's available on the internet and other places, climate change is actually, some of these people are just poor farmers and they can no longer grow crops. Can't make money anymore growing crops. So they're forced into the cities. The cities are violent, gang infested, horrible places to live, and they know that they can't make it there. And they think, yeah, I'll walk 1,000 miles to get to the U.S. border and take my chances. Why not? It's better than what I got going on back there. So I was thinking that, maybe Donald Trump is a good thing, because he's forcing us to take a look at these issues and talk about them and decide how we're going to proceed from here. We've got problems. This is a problem. It's a problem all over the world, not just here. And we've got to face these things. It's not going to get any better. So maybe it's a good thing, but then Melania Trump's jacket pops up. And I think, holy crap, these people are just totally, they're totally insane. They are, they're just not, they're not tuned in to real people and real lives, and they just are flipping us the bird. I'm Neutrino Jones. This is the Nightly Relay. I've got one more day in this week. Hope it gets better. Have a good night.